Welcome to one of the first skill enhancement programs of VidyaDaan. Speaking about VidyaDaan, VidyaDaan is a non-profit organization that is focused at student and teacher development. Through VidyaDaan, we organize a variety of student development programs. You might have seen also some of them on storytelling, Varli painting, drawing, then regular activities, etc. We do organize a lot of weekend activities for all the students. So, this skill enhancement program was something which we thought we should come up with because all of us as teachers, we all must be updated about our skills, right? So this is one of the first programs in this series of skill enhancement program. We will be having it and throughout for the next 1.5 to 2 months, and there will be e-certificates given to the participants, and more on the e-certificate we talk about it at the end of the session. Okay, so for now, I won't speak more. I request Manasa to please recite the prayer before we begin any auspicious task. Thank you.
शालपालं गजत्कण्ठमालं शरच्चन्द्रबालं महादैत्यकालं नभो जलाजन्महीनं परानन्दपीनं समानानलीनं सुदैवानदीनं जगज्जन्महेतुं सुरानीकदेतुं त्रिलोकैकसेतुं भजेऽहं रमाकण्ठहारं श्रुतिर्वाससारं जनान्तर्विहारं धनाकारहारं चिदानन्दरूपं मनोध्यस्वरूपं धृतानेकरूपं भजेऽहं धृतानेकरूपं भजेऽहं धृतानेकरूपं भजेऽहं
Thank you so much, Manasa. Manasa is one of our esteemed VidyaDaan member who contributes to a lot of activities. Now, without further ado, I take upon the honor and privilege of introducing our guest speaker, our resource person for the day, Premanandan sir, who is the principal of Mullur Central School in Nellaya, Palakkad. And he is a war veteran. He is an Indian Air Force veteran, an active participant of the Kargil War. So frankly, for me, when I was a student, I have always heard a lot in history. I have always read about Indo-Pak War and everything. So when the Kargil War was happening, I remember I was in 12th and I was all charged up. So today when I read in his profile that he was an active participant of Kargil War, that was something I really wanted to highlight. For the first time, I'm meeting someone who is an active participant in Kargil War. Welcome, sir. He has had 18 years, more than 18 years of experience in both India as well as abroad. And he was on an UN education mission to Africa. He served in Africa for 6 years on a UN education mission. He was trained for suicide prevention at the prestigious NIMHANS in Bangalore. It's a great honor and privilege for all of us, Premanandan sir. Welcome to the platform and looking forward to get some pearls of wisdom from you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Am I audible to you, everybody?
Yes, sir, you're audible. You're audible.
Thank you. Once again, very good afternoon. Now, as far as today's topic, Indira ma'am already told, and she spoke much more about me. Thank you very much. Suicide prevention. Even though it sounds a bit negative, suicide aspect, when the prevention is added, automatically it becomes positive. Because nobody wants that suicide word to be used by anyone of us. It's a wide topic, but being the educators, we'll focus on to the area after going a slightly overall in general aspect. So I wish everyone to pay attention for this 40-45 minutes. We'll have a presentation, and at the last, the queries can be discussed. And I personally wanted to communicate that I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a professional of prevention of suicide. I was fortunate enough during my Air Force days to get associated with NIMANS and get in touch with those professionals. And later on, when I was out of Air Force, when being in CBSC and matriculation and all other, even in India and abroad, I happened to come across many issues and where I could be, and I was able to be instrumental in deviating the possible catastrophes. I've seen that. So let's start with my presentation. Please confirm my screen is visible to you. Suicide prevention. Suicide, we will see how it can be elaborated. Most of us knows that even though it is an observable activity. Let's see what it is. Before going to that, being the educators, let's correlate with the education and the present day's topic. Education is not the preparation for life, but life itself. Most of you must have heard about this quote. And underneath that, anything adversely affecting life is not education. If education is not the preparation for life, but life itself, anything adversely affecting life at any stage is not education. So then what is life? Being teachers, principals, and educators, we definitely teach students in various classes the terms, definitions, and everything. The condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter, capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activities, continued change preceding death. Then what is death? This is the permanent, irreversible cessation of all biological functions that sustains a living organism. It is a permanent ending of vital process in a cell or tissue. Definition aspects we all know. We are all, you, me, everybody, as of now here on this meeting, everybody is in between this. Then if you take the life in a bit more simplified manner, what is that? Paid card with limited validity. Again, this you might have heard about. If we are lucky, we may get some grace period. Famous personalities, Ratan Tata, Chetan Bhagat, you can add my name, even you can add your name later on. We all said this. They explained, or they spoke many times, what is balanced, successful life. Health, relationship, mental peace, all in good order. If you see, there's no fun in promotion, getting a promotion on the day of your breakup. One may be very hardworking, sincere, working a lot, day and night, for getting your promotion, appreciation, anything of that sort. But when you achieve that, when you find you got it at home, the breakup, it is the breakup day. So in fact, you can't enjoy, nobody else can enjoy that. No fun is fun in driving a car if your back is hurting, both hands. You should be comfortable in the car. You have a car, but if you are not able to drive it, you are not able to enjoy the drive, then what is the fun in having a car? Right? Shopping is not enjoyable if your mind hurts. Why mind hurts? There are so many reasons. There could be so many reasons. When you say when you enjoy on weekends, I know many people prefer to enjoy on weekends at least. But how many average expectancy of weekends? You say an average person lives for 50 years, where we can enjoy the weekends. I mean, not in childhood and the later stage. So it goes around 2,500 weekends approximately. So why don't we enjoy it? But if remain intense, then probably it doesn't contribute anything to balance or successful life. We are people and not programmed devices. We are all human beings. That's why we connected with life. You see, there are some example which clicked in our mind. Bunk a few classes. All may not agree with me. During discussion, we'll come to that. Have you bunked some classes during our school days or college days? You can think. Will you allow students to do that? That's another part of it. Or is it right thing to bunk a few classes at times, not always? Score low in couple of papers. Let's think about our academics during our school days, during our college days, or whatsoever the case may be. Whether we were, always A plus, always 100% in all the subjects. Is it right to have less marks in one or two papers? And does it make something very serious difference? Take leave from work. Now we are all working class. Is it okay to take leave? Probably boss may not allow that, something different. Fall in love. Have you ever fell in love? Will you allow our students, will we allow our children to fall in love? Now again, the love interpretations are, it's very, very, very vast. Nothing negative in that. It can be very positive. Fight a little with spouse. Please, all spouses, excuse me. I didn't mean that. But I fight, if you say, for differences, expressing the differences in a bold manner, is it acceptable? Hope should be. Again, we'll come back to that point. Please. Now, what is actually, the topic of the day? Before prevention of suicide. That is, during the life, then when it comes to a stop automatically or intentionally causing one's death, one's own death. There can be various reasons, but if you are taken birth on this earth, we are expected to go. One day we have to leave the stage, there's no doubt. We cannot remain throughout. But what is the cause of that? Who is the cause of that? Now here the topic, when it comes to the suicide, it becomes intentionally causing one's own death. The reason is also the person, the beneficiary or the affected person is also the same. Let's see what it is. And what are the warning signs we can observe in general? Please do not take this as the final answer. This is only the first stage to what you so call suicides prevention, or if one person can interfere in the activities to save someone's life. Threats, comments about killing themselves. A person who often gives threats that I will do this, I kill myself, then it's a bit dangerous. Social withdrawal from friends, family, community. We are not discussing about the reason. We will see. We can, if you are closely observing, we can identify. Increased alcohol and drug use. Again, one weekend, if you spend something and if you have something, that doesn't amount to that. But increased means it has its own definitions. Aggressive behavior. This I am generalizing, I am not focusing on a specific group now. This is a general thing, but we are discussing, we will come to the focus area later. But the points will be more or less same. Dramatic mood swings, talking, writing, or thinking about death. Most often keep on talking about death. Once death, then it's very serious. Warning signs continued. Talking about loss of hope, being trapped for alone. There's no hope further. I'm trapped. Somebody gives a comment very often. I'm trapped. I'm alone. There is nobody for me. No friends, no relatives, nothing. Saying no reason to go on living. And somebody expresses that, see, I don't have any reason to live. But making a will or giving away personal possessions. If you make a will, it's not that a person makes a will, okay, now I've decided that I just give it up to my friends, relatives, or whatever the case may be. So I don't need anything of this. Searching for means of doing personal harm, buying, getting arms, etc. Need it, a weapon, a gun, or anything of that sort. And if he or she thinks about try to do that, there is a possibility that can be used for something. Eating too little or too much, resulting significant weight loss or weight gain. We'll discuss. Engaging in reckless behavior, use of drugs, alcohol, already we discussed. Avoiding social interaction, who tries to withdraw himself, herself. Expressing rage or intention to seek revenge, showing signs of extreme anxiousness or agitation. Now let's see what are the factors affecting it. Depression is the top mental health risk. But doesn't mean all cases of suicide are associated with mental illness. It's not necessarily, but depression plays a major role. Bipolar disorder, extreme mood swings, already we just mentioned the high and low mood change, very frequent. schizophrenia, disability to think, feel, and behave clearly. It's a selected group of people, it's not for everybody. Anxiety disorders, personality disorders, incarceration, being confined as his or her own activities result or by force, or so the case may be. Poor job security or low levels of job satisfaction, very relevant to especially some special fields, I'll say in that manner right now. History of being abused or witnessing continuous abuse, being diagnosed with serious medical conditions such as cancer, HIV. Now, just right now, black fungus, white fungus, a lot of things are coming up. When somebody starts feeling that there is no escape out of this, going to be an end, because there are a lot of other influences like social media and propagations, all things are there. Definitely, medical people are doing wonderful role, doing counseling and all other activities, and those are affected with. But still, somebody is not able to get the right help at the right time, things can worsen. Substance use disorders, childhood abuse or trauma, family history of suicide, having chronic disease, social loss of significant relations. Somebody happened to lose, again, it can be of various reasons that can probably be a factor. Then access to lethal means firearms and drugs. Those who are handling, must have heard the reports and all in the defense and all such things where police, such cases where they are handling firearms, they shot themselves and such cases. And those are handling weapons, dangerous weapons, dangerous chemicals, acids, such things. Those are regularly using it. So they have an easy access to such things. Being exposed to suicide somebody happened to expose, it be a difficult problem. Difficulty in seeking support. The right time getting a support, for everybody's capacity, it may not be possible. Such cases can be very dangerous. Lack of access to mental health and substance use treatment. There's no access, there's no treatment. Following belief system that suicide is solution to personal problem. Some particular community or some people like that, they do believe that that is the final solution for that one. So in such cases can be leading to that. If you take a survey, this is an Indian rating. Something in 2019, 15 to 24 age group. That was approximately 13.9%. What is the relevance of this 15 and 24? See, a person, come to the group of human resource after 18 till 55, 57, some cases of 60. It's a very young age where they just started enjoying or started living the life in fact. It's very painful for anybody, to the relatives, to the society, to the country, or to the world. You take the case of 1999 to 2019, female age between 10 to 14. It raised from 0.5 to 2%. Now see, this is also highly significant for us, especially for educators, because during this age, Most often, children remain with the school. Same period, 10 to 15, the male, it is 1.9 to 3.1 percentage was. Each day, approximately 14 to 17 age group, that is 9 standard to 12 standard, almost 3,703 numbers approximately. It may vary because these are all based on the survey, which is reported cases. There might be so many cases which is not reported, which is suppressed, and there's not many other issues, you know that. Now see here, the highest rate in men, highest rate when you take it is that too in men, it is over 65 years. Again, you may think, you may ask that after 65 years, after so much of maturity, almost life is set, then how it happens? Of course, that is another area which is a vast area, which we may not be able to go now right now because we will focus on our area where the schooling is connected. And the very second place, it is the age group of 40 to 64. 40 to 64. Now, I think most of us are in this group. See, why? How? So it doesn't remain only to the age, a particular age, and at the later stage, it is quite high as per the previous surveys. Then let's see here. World Suicide Prevention Day is observed on September 10th. World Mental Health Day is observed on October 10th. That means people have understood the necessity of not celebrating. It is observing, doing something towards this. Let's see what we can do as educators, how to address this. It can feel scary, but by getting someone, the word itself is scary, but getting someone the help they need in time, help prevent a suicide attempt or death. The word itself, you don't feel like to go to that. Nobody likes it. Hear word. But if someone can do something, move a small finger, something can happen. We can save any one of us. Maybe instrumental to save a beautiful life. Let's see. During conversation, anyone you come across, you feel it's not necessarily some of these signs are there, and it definitely he or she is going to commit or he cannot do that activity. It's not necessary, but if you can bring it to the limelight, to the right person, if you are not able to, there are professionals for that. That's educators, we are not, but at least we are those people, those are remaining connected to the people. It's not necessarily to the students, it can be colleagues, can be friends, can be relatives, can be family members. Anyone whom you are likely to, or whom you are involving with daily routine. During conversations, be best listener. Rather than giving advices, listen to the person. If someone feels like to talk to you or create an atmosphere, wherever it is, maybe in the school, maybe at home, maybe at workplace, maybe anywhere. Create an atmosphere and be a good listener rather than giving advice. Stay calm and speak in reassuring tone. Because that person needs help. So your message should be that you are with that person. Do not go for the justice. No, justice may be something different. Acknowledge their feelings are legitimate, irrespective of what they are saying. Now, before that, you need to be a good listener, then only the person is expected to speak to you. Otherwise, if you keep on advising, probably you may not come near to you. Acknowledge their feelings are legitimate, offer support and encouragement. We may not be in a position to help, but definitely there is no harm in this. I can. It is not necessarily you yourself do it. You may be a friend or somebody better than you, a professional whom you can contact later on may be able to support that person. So just offer the support. There is nothing wrong. Tell them help is available and they can feel better. Yes, because they feel that totally they are in a dark room, all windows, doors, everything closed, no light, not even a ray. And in fact, you or me cannot do anything. But at the same, what we can do is when the person is in a difficult situation of because of various reasons what we discussed in, or even something out of that, at least we should be in a position to show that there is a gap of that window, there is a ray coming in. Just look at that. If you go, you just reach to that, the window will get open, the light will pass in, and then you can search other windows, the doors open. There are a lot of ways. And that's end of it. Advice, refer to a professional. Never ever keep it with you just because of we happen to attend one class or something like that and all things we can handle. No, it doesn't happen. There might be a small case, which only thing if you feel if you are able to identify, you are taking it, giving a support and you are directing to the better person. Most of the schools are supposed to have counselors and all, and CBS is very clear about that, and CBS is doing a wonderful job on that. And definitely, being a teacher, being a parent, if you happen to, please refer that person whom you feel that it is necessary to have a support. Immediate support is given, immediate help is given from your side, and please direct them to a professional, whichever is available to you. Commit suicide, I just crossed it. You can see that the commit part is crossed. Because the commit word is associated with crime and justice. Even when we speak about, when we discuss about, let's not use that word commit. Commit is associated with crime, injustice, legal aspects of sin. In some religion, it's a sin. When you say commit a sin, it's told like that. Use of such words deepens the pain surrounding suicide. Because when you say that it's committed, he or she committed, already something had gone wrong, then again it's becoming a sin or becoming injustice. Legal aspects will just touch it. Legally, it is a punishable offense. Later on, there are amendments onto that because court has taken up legal amendment that they are taken up that already a person is suffering. Because when somebody happened to do the person killing, son killing, and there is no need of punishment for him because everything is over. Already he happened to try for that. He could not do, or she could not do. Then what is the use of punishing again? Already is in trouble. So it's a debatable issue, it's being debated, but legally it is not lifted. It is a legal offense even now, but a lot of considerations are being given under 305 to 309 CPRC. Now here again, coming to that point, successful and failed also to be avoided. Here it's not a competition. Successfully did it and we failed in doing that. No. Both the cases, if somebody is, when we are talking to somebody, talking to the person, let's avoid the successful and fail with suicide. And what happens is it's mostly romanticizes or stigmatizes. So let's not do that. Now, who can address such issues? Who can address? First category, I'll say it's professionals. Those who are trained, those who are in medical profession, psychological profession, clinical psychologists, let such people handle that. But what happens is, most often, as we discussed in previous slides, it doesn't happen. The immediate case, it doesn't reach to those people because in a very worse situation, it reaches, or after things going wrong, if things reaches there, nothing can be done. So the first thing it comes, the mentor. All of us knows that teachers are mentors. Mentoring, of course, it's there is a mentor connected activities, mentoring, and all those processes there. And school is doing it. Most of the schools are doing it. I know. So apart from the teacher, our teacher itself is a mentor. A mentor, personally, when you speak, you can say a trusted advisor. Trusted advisor. So mentoring itself is a process. If it allows, we'll have a separate session on that. And I've seen that as per the program of VidyaDaan, I've seen such programs are coming up. So apart from the teacher can be a mentor, a parent can be a mentor, a friend can be a mentor, any person can be a mentor, there is no problem in that. Teacher, if you are in a profession of teacher, definitely you can be a mentor because teacher is mentor also. Parents can definitely, it can be a boss, can be friends, colleagues, it can be spouse, anyone of this can address. So there is nothing. But always the preference is for professional. But due to present situation, I'm sure about it. Most of us will not be able to reach to a right professional at the right time. Or there are people who cannot. Whatever access we have, that much access also is not there for the people. So it will be difficult. So it's you and me to move a little finger, if possible, at the right time, at the right place. Let's come back. Let's come back. Just out. Let's stop. Now, let's just leave this session open for the questions if something has come up, or I think Indra Madam can help me. If any suggestions, query, clarification from your side, any one of the members, open to you.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask now.
Later on, we will come back to our real focus area of the schooling part of. Now we are generalized. Let's come. After the clarification of up to this point, then we will come to the schooling. Dear participants, I'll be very happy if somebody respond. Yes, 5 participants raised hand. Please, ma'am, please check. Rakhi Singh first.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please, ma'am, please.
Okay. All right. I don't know. For some reason, my audio had got disconnected in between, I think.
Okay, fine. Yes.
Okay. I hope it was a fruitful session for everyone. I found it really fruitful and it was informative. Any questions, anyone? No questions? Everything all clear. Okay. Yes, Srija ma'am is having a question.
Yes. That's it. There's one question. I could see one. That kindly go on, sir. What can be the reason if someone, Srija Praveen, ends his life without any warning signs? Yes, this is a very relevant question. Am I audible to you, everybody? Am I audible? Okay. Without any warning signs. This is the question. Now, see, they will not come and say that I am going to observe something. I am going to present. I am going to give a sign that I am going to do in my life. It happened. Now it is the responsibility of the other people whether something happens. It doesn't happen. In fact, without any warning sign, it doesn't happen. But the only thing, those who are associated with those, they fail to notice that. And we can't practically so happen that, we make a list and keep going with that. Do you have this and do you have this, and we can't do that. The person who is close to that, that's not necessarily a parent, not necessarily a friend, not necessarily a teacher. It can be X, Y, or Z. But if it has not come into notice of me, doesn't mean that it has not been presented to somebody else or somewhere else. So it will be noticed. That's what it happens. It goes unnoticed by somebody, but it never goes unnoticed by anyone. Somebody might have noticed or somebody failed to notice it. So that's what we are coming to the focus area. When come to our school and schooling, it becomes the responsibility or hidden responsibility or open responsibility, whatever the case may be, to our teachers. I mean, to us, I'll say in that manner, not only teachers, as being mentors. So it doesn't generally happen without any sign. People might give a comment like that. There was no sign, there was nothing. He was very happy, or he was very happy. And which way we correct? I mean, which way we mention it? And we may not have such cases like a person after 65 years or 70 years is well settled, well reached, everything. And all the children are well settled. He's got a good house, he's got a car, he's got everything. As far as third person who is observing is concerned. But what is the real situation within him or within her, and person who is very close to him only will be able to identify. So most of the cases, it doesn't happen without a sign, and that sign is probably, it goes unnoticed. That's what I say. Hope I am able to convince you. Or this now everyone gets well.
Excuse me.
I request all of you to put yourself on mute. Yes, Sonali ma'am, you have a question. Please
Yes,
go ahead.
ma'am. Sometimes what happens that some children are there who are not interested in having some subject. Okay, like they are not interested in science, they want to take arts, but their parents force them to take science only. For an example, so after that they have to study that subject and they come under pressure. And we know this thing, but we are not able to convince the parents, because what parents feel that no, only science subject is good, so child should study science only. So in this situation, how can we help children to means not to commit suicide?
Okay, that's good, ma'am. Let's very nice. Actually, I was coming to that point because let's focus on the schooling problem, where the problems what we face it in the school. It's one of the problem what ma'am presented. It's there. Such things are coming to our notice also. Now here, you remember what I shown in the title. I mean that previous slide. What if we get less marks in 2 subjects? Right? It's not told by me. It's told by Ratan Tata or Chetan Bhagat or some people like that. Even I do feel like to say the same thing. What happens? Suppose science less mark. What happens? Mathematics less marks. What happens? Are we now? Say I'm totally with you, ma'am. You may not be able to, or as a teacher, you may not be able to convince these parents. But sometimes principal may be able to. There are a lot of pressure for teacher, parent side pressure, management side pressure, principal side pressure, and student is concerned, there is a pressure from parents also. So definitely sometimes the child will think that I have no other option other than choosing to this. Now in this case, I'm asked what we can do. So again, let's ask ourselves, suppose that child gets less mark in science, what's going to happen? But parent will say definitely no, I want him to make me a doctor. Actually he wants to. See, there is a problem. That's why the things are happening. It's not that teachers are not teaching, teachers are ready to teach. But the problem is, student is not interested to teach learn that. It's not his problem. He or she is not interested to that. Then what we can do? So what we can do, who should take this, understand this? The parents should understand this. So ma'am told that, how can we convince the parent? Definitely, in my opinion, you must call the parent. Before that, you must take it up to, if there's a counselor in the school, please identify the taste of the child and make is there any possibility of making that particular subject interesting, because CBSE has already come up with a lot of suggestions, options, enjoyable learning, competency-based learning, art-integrated learning. All those things refers to that. The learning process should be enjoyable to that child. And if enjoyable, well and good. And even you can try. Maybe it's a problem of a teacher. You can change the teacher and try once. Fine. If it doesn't happen, of course, these are all with the permission of principal. And if it happens, well, it goes. And if you, when you decide that it is not possible for that child to take up with maths, there is no meaning of pressurizing. Please get the parents. You may require to take the parents for counseling. It's not necessarily the child to be counseled, and sometimes it may so happen that you may have to put everybody together. And at least if the teacher is concerned, teacher is not able to convince that parent, definitely take it up to the counselor, take it up to the principal and the school academic authorities, whoever it is, and at least put it in as a record that this what happened. Because I'm telling about the mentoring process. The teacher may not, the concerned subject teacher may not be the right person to identify why the child is not interested in that. That there comes the role of a mentor, because even in my school that we have a practice that apart from the subject teacher, 8 to 10 students are divided to one teacher as a mentor, and the teachers are given training for that, initial training for that, and they do at least within a fortnight, they do interact with that, what happens in the class, what goes wrong with the child, and what is good for him, and what is bad for him, what he likes, what he doesn't like. And these all things, it's all being recorded. If there is a specific issue, it is already, it's noted down and it's taken up with the principal, and the parents are involved in that, and parents are convinced up to a certain extent. And I'm sure about some cases, it's very difficult to convince the parents. Very difficult. But at least if you have a record in your school, this whole thing process happened, and if something it's not go wrong, but if something goes wrong, at least you are at safer side. Your safer side that we have done. And definitely in that process, if necessary, at least refer the child along with the parent to a better professional counselor so that he or she can convince that. And there are cases, even after that, people don't get convinced. There are cases, I don't say no. But when you work out, and this channel when we work out, and I'm sure about things will work. I hope I'm making a sense. Ma'am?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Please, somebody else. Let's focus on the question to the teaching community. The schooling, because generalized part we said it, but let's focus on, as ma'am said, that these issues are there. Yes, this is. Sir, do you think that all from Shobana to everyone, right? Ma'am, you're from his school. Can I? Nowadays, you are coming in issues. Yes. This is another thing. There are 2-3 questions, very interesting questions. Which is first one, what can we do if some children are not ready to share their problems? Yeah, this is very important. Rita, very nice. This happens. Very often it happens. And that's why this topic gets diverted to the mentoring. And if you suddenly go and say that, who is this Rita ma'am? Rita, ma'am, please. See, if you suddenly just go and say that, you say, see, I am your teacher or I am your principal, and I know that you are sitting gloomy there and you're not getting good marks. And today I just want you, tomorrow morning when you come, you tell me all your problems. And if you go with that, no child is going to come near you. No child is going to come to near you, no problem will be shared. And even if as a parent, if you approach your own son or your daughter that you have some problem, you are not eating food, I just want you to know that why you got less marks. No, don't expect such things. So only thing, the option is that so-called mentor. Of course, I am forced to say who is supposed to be a mentor. What is that? First thing, he should be a good listener and he should be trustworthy. He should be trustworthy. That person who is affected should feel that this person, if I disclose something, or this person is worth of sharing my thoughts, and there ends the problem. And that this can be a parent. I am not specifying. This can be a parent. This can be a teacher. This can be a friend. This can be a friend. Now, all these things, first to take that child into confidence, and it's not necessarily a child. It can be an elderly person even. But here we are focusing on the students. So you should be able to take. You should be means I'm talking about. It can be mentor, it can be you. And if you feel that I'm not able to, this child is not comfortable with me, please move away from there. Give it to somebody else. Give that child to somebody else and create an atmosphere. And it cannot be created overnight. Such an atmosphere where the child feels confidence in you cannot be created overnight. So that's what I said. The mentoring is a process to be done throughout. It's a continuous process. There is a related one more. Am I making sense, ma'am? Rita, who was that? Rita, ma'am? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Okay. I think I made it clear.
Yes, sir.
Sindhu J. Nowadays, children are committing suicides for silly matters like for watching TV, for playing games. What can we do? Yes, this is very relevant to the topic in particular area. Not only this, I come across the stage. One of the parent is she's in the medical field, and she came to me one day and sat in front of me, gasping, said, "Sir, it's like something like that. Your school do not have computer." I said, "Who said there's no computer?" No, it's not now. I'm talking about this is happened somewhere in 2003. The child was studying somewhere in 7th standard or 8th standard. And my child is saying that, see, I cannot learn the computer. I need a computer in my house. Because nowadays, that time, the computer was not very common in every house. And the parents both were employed and they were well off comparatively. They were able to afford a computer. So we asked for a computer and they said no for that. And immediately he responded like that, it's better to die if you don't, rather than living with his parents. It happened with me. Then the parent came, he just came to confirm that whether a computer is needed. Ma'am, sir, I can take PF loan and then I can afford a computer, I can give it to him. If that is the requirement, I just wanted to confirm. I said, not required as on right now. So children nowadays, they know the pulse of parents. They are able to present in a such as, because there are a lot of other access, social media and a lot of things are there. People present it. Yes, if I don't get this, I will do this. Parents get puzzled. Even teachers get puzzled. In front of teachers, people threaten that, yes, teacher, if you look at me like this, then I am going to do this and I will put a note also. I'll put your name. That teacher's life is gone. So here it comes. That's what I said. Please do not handle such situation individually. Even if you're a parent, silly matters, because nowadays what happens is parents are providing most of the things to students. Children, students. And they do not know what is the time need to be waiting for getting something. And they do not know to accept the failures. Everything get it. So that's the most of the reason. And because in the childhood it goes like that, and when it reaches to the adolescence on later stages, when suddenly somebody says no, they are not used to listen. No, they are all ready to accept the things, whatever they want, they get it immediately. So as you said, it just for say stop TV. That's all. Don't commit it. I'll do this. And people have done it. And one or two cases have done that becomes for others, and parents start getting feared, teachers getting scared, principals getting scared, and finally what happens? People compromise. Let it. So there is nobody saying no. Everybody is saying. So now what can we do? The question: what can we do? See, here I am correlating. It can be our own children, but at the right stage, please teach them. And please say no wherever it is necessary to say no. Do not drive the child for any reason. Many cases I know that it's even now people just give mobile to 2 years, 3 years child, and for eating food. For making that child to eat food, mobile has to be on in front, then only the child will eat. And what will happen day after tomorrow? Day after tomorrow? What are the things we'll have to give it, because the child is accustomed to that. So ma'am, it's my point of view. I think this happens. It is happening. Let's be bold enough to say no. And that should be a way of doing it. But you should be justified. You should be justified, and if you do that one, let's forget about that. If something still goes wrong, don't be scared of that. If everybody is scared of doing everything, and people, the things will not move at all. Sindhu ma'am, hope I am making it sense.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Do you think, yes, M. Shobana, do you think that all school has mentors? I just wish to clarify, ma'am. It's like, if you are talking about mentors, all school has or all school can have. If you have any doubt, you can just clarify now. But if you are asking about a professional counselor, it is no. I don't think. Even though CBSE suggests to have, most of the schools are not having what you say as the counselor. But mentors, if you decide, your management decide, your principal decide, definitely you can have mentors in the school. Who will be the mentors? The question. All teachers will be the mentors. You may need a preliminary training and a practice to start it. And I am boldly saying that I have implemented this practice in my school for the past 4 years, and it's wonderfully going. It's not a very big school or something like that, because I know, and in fact, I do not have an official council. But the mentoring process is going fine, and I have an external consultancy, and what I do is, in things comes something which is beyond our control, and I just refer them to that part, and we still keep connected. So there is no official mentors. What ma'am is asking, I think it's to the counselor. Mentors are to be created in every schools. And preliminary training has to be done, and continuation updation has to be done, and that things and really work wonderfully well. And it is not only to this particular topic of suicide prevention, it adds up to the disciplinary activities, adds up to the academic activities, and all sort of issues. And even in this pandemic time, this mentoring process worked out very well as far as I am concerned in my school instance. Am I making it, ma'am? Shobana ma'am? Shobana ma'am, am I audible to you? Yes. Nowadays, children age 10 to 12 attempt suicide for every small reasons, like not allowed to play games for their choice, WhatsApp programs, or feathers. So what can be done to these children? That's what exactly again. I think I already covered that. That is what 10 to 12. That is very alarming. 10 to 12 years of age, taking a decision to tear off that prepaid card. See, one is the social influence, social media influence. Another thing, just before this 10 to 12, let's connect this. During this mentoring process, let's connect to the parent. If you bring that parents to the schools and have a mentoring record, you will find it is one or other way it happened, because it's almost nuclear family now. And this, during our joint family system, the mentoring process, even the so-called counselor and all the professionals, please excuse me, such people were not there. There was no clinical psychologist, there was no psychologist, there was no counselor. Only what we had is we used to have grandmother, grandfather, and all those things, and those people, and they used this process. Now here what happens is, especially being in the nuclear family, husband, wife, and child, the newborn child, right from the newborn child, that's what I'm saying, that first year, 1 year old to 2 year old onwards, if she cries or he cries for a mobile, it's given. And for eating food, feeding that child, the mobile is in front. And everything is accessible to the child. And one fine morning, you start putting restrictions. And who will accept it? Child will not accept it, and that's what exactly is happening. At the 10th age or 10th or 12 years age, they started thinking. And when they start thinking, I'm getting everything at my home, and what is being restricted at the school, that teacher is bad. Teacher is saying, no, I don't like it. And I'm not allowed to play that, I stop it. And mother is saying okay, and father is saying not okay. That's gone. So here what happens is, even it is not necessary, not that it is limited to the students. Through the student, you may have to get the parents to the schools, and you may have to have family counseling. It is not only to the child. If you identify this child has an adamant nature, this child has a problem like this, and he is insisting upon his behavior. That's what I told, the mood behavior, how he behaves, how he behaves the child, I mean the friends and the teachers and with the schools and such things. In such cases, you may have to enhance the mentoring process, and that process you may have to involve the parents also. And if you feel that it is out of your control, definitely, as I said, that please, and definitely all this should be with your principals, administration's consent. And if necessary, please refer to a professional and make a record of that. At least you are safe from your side in case something goes wrong. Ma'am, who's that? Who's that? This point? Sanjay Kumar sir. Sanjay Kumar sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Nitya Vijay, how can we identify children that we are in stress mode? Yes. This time. Another thing, circulation system, making students are more prone to suicide. Yes. Things to identify the physical complication, waiting angry. In jolly mood. Okay, Nitya Vijay, how can we identify the children that are in stress mode and in jolly mood? Say some tips to identify them easily and how can. Yes, as I told you, it's like withdrawing from social activities. Withdrawing from social, because children like to play, especially CBSE has got the HP, health and physical education, and that is supposed to be implemented strictly. Again, as you asked the question of counselor, every school may not be, or rather may not be possible or not doing it, or whatever the case may be. The HP period is converted to subject period, and all those things happen. Anyway, last 1 year, nothing is happening like that. Why the PT period is to be converted to mathematics period or biology period? Let the children play. But when the children are playing, out of 50 students, all 48 are playing or 49 are playing, and one is not playing, one is sitting idle, definitely there is something wrong. Definitely something wrong. Whether he's in a sad mode or happy mood. Say question. I'll just quote an example that during my African times, I had one student blind. Well, it was a 10th and 11th I was there. So 9th and 10th I was there. It's totally blind, but when I enter the class, he used to pray, Master, you seems to be happy today. Can't say anything. He just said that. Then I said, how do you know that? So I can make out. See, my voice, he is able to judge that I am happy or sad. He is not able to see me. It happened with me. So what I'm saying is, it is possible a person, a teacher who is very close to, I'm not talking about subject-wise expertise or anything, being very close, and this is applicable to the parents. A child is happy or sad, we can understand. There are people, I mean, in the parent side, in the teacher's side, they say that my child is not happy today. My child face is not happy. So we can identify, and that identification, even one day, okay, mood variation is okay. If it continuously it's happening, definitely you need to take him, need to mentor him or her, and need to get the parents also if necessary. And because you know that what the time they are spending in the school, and that time is 6 to 8 hours, and beyond that 18 hours almost, it is with the parents. So definitely we'll be able to, and parents are very busy, probably they may not have observed it. But when you say that there is something I observed, some variation I have observed it, and definitely when you call the parent, and if you are able to communicate with the parents, it may not happen immediately, but after 1 or 2 days, definitely you'll be able to reach that. I think Nitya Vijaya, right? Ma'am, am I able to clarify that?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. It's a good explanation to me.
Thank you.
The session is also very nice and informative to me, because I am a teacher in a school. I have faced a lot of children like that. They were in a sad mood. I'm approaching them to be in the normal mood and approached, but sometimes I missed them. So only I asked the question about that. Thank you for this, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So it's one more question, Preetham Nag. So is today's education system making students more prone to suicidal tendencies? It's very fine. Yes, today, now we can't say it's today's, yesterday's, we should say yesterday's. Because already NEP is in the process, and NEP, whatever we have gone through and whatever I understood, I feel they have addressed almost all these problems, and it is a question of implementing it, and we are those people supposed to implement it, not I and you alone, and we are all those. And probably we will be able to see the implementation of NEP, and with all this stress removed, because stress-free learning again CBSE is emphasizing. CBSE is making the rules, and ultimately the warrant, we are those people. And we have a lot of restrictions, I say, but at least we have a look from that angle. Yes, children, I'm somehow happy to see that people are very truthfully, they express their views that people are, our students are under stress. And when we know that students are under stress, at least a teacher knows that that's enough. That's enough. And that's a move. And we take a stand that my students, I don't want to be under stress, and that makes, definitely, it may not be an immediate change, definitely it will make a change. And definitely the implementation of NEP, the yesterday's problem, I will say, not today's problem, yesterday's problem will be sorted out. And today we will not have a problem, tomorrow we will not have a problem at all. I think that makes Nitya Vijay, Preetham Nag, ma'am. Right?
Yes, sir. That was a very good, informative session, sir.
Thank you. When a person, Maitri Ghosh, when a person tries to commit suicide, what is the mental state of the person? Yes, this is Preetham Nag. Mental state. There are, I said it's one is disturbed state, disturbed and totally disconnected from the surroundings. Sometimes there is. I just wish to report that is a particular. There will be so many background factors, but that particular moment only, and that particular moment, even a person can interfere if it happened to by accidentally or incidentally, whatever the case may be. And it is proved that that person can be deviated from that. There's a story. It's not a story. Somewhere it happened. So one person about to stab himself, and that particular time, the national anthem came in the mind. National anthem. So it is taught somewhere in the school. So it is taught to everybody. See, wherever national anthem is sung, we stand correct. And that particular moment, it is a 52 seconds. At 52 seconds, he stood, and that 52 seconds, he dropped the knife and he moved out. And even though it is a story or whatever, whatever the case may be, just that 52 seconds can matter. Because it was well decided that I'm going to kill myself, and just because of that, something in my mind, external force. That external force, this particular time I'm supposed to be in attention, I just deviated from that. And that deviation, if you can bring it in, still the people can be brought into the right side. Nowadays, children always, yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Okay, just nowadays, children are always engaging in games like Free Fire because they are forced to use mobile on classes. Yes. This is a recent developed. It's not a recent developed problem. See, there are two things. We as educators, we used to say, most of the schools, we used to say that no mobiles, no mobiles, no mobiles. And the same words we had to reverse it last year onwards. We said yes mobile, yes mobile, yes mobile. We all, including parents, forced to give mobiles in their hands. Now here, this is the best part of the education. The mobiles, what we said, it is totally wrong. And in fact, it was not totally wrong. When we say that, we are saying students, you are not supposed to. Teacher is using, principal is using, parents are using. See, only children said no. But due to Corona, whatever the case, maybe finally it happened, okay, now you can use it. So in that case, we cannot outrightly blame the mobiles and how precisely they are able to be selective in using mobile, how to control the usage of mobile, that learning, that teaching, we should be able to impart. And if you are able to do that, and I'm sure there is no question of restriction, banning, we can restrict the usage of, if you are able to give that, I'm sure about we can do that. I think time is, Ma'am, the time limit is going up.
Yeah. So shall we end the session?
I think it's we can conclude. I think most of the queries are cleared.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Thank
We
you.
would like to thank our distinguished speaker, Shri Premanandan sir, for making excellent presentation and making this online session interesting and meaningful. Also, we would like to express our gratitude to all the participants, their principals, vice principals, teachers of various schools, and members of VidyaDaan who have made this online session a grand success. Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants.
Thank you very much. Thank you.